Hey guys, it's Ken. Check it out. It's somebody eating a big piece of cake. Right up there. Check it out. There's the cake. There's the guy. There's his mouth. There's his nose. His eyes. His head. Here's his arm. He's got a big piece of cake right there. He's going to shove it in his face right there. That was kind of cool. Somebody eat a big piece. I'm sitting here in my chair right there, just relaxing, enjoying a beautiful Friday night here on my street, and looking up at the sky. And of course, the clouds are changing now, so it no longer looks like that, but it did for a second. It looked like a big head with a big mouth, but it's Ken. It's Friday. Happy Friday to you guys out there. Hopefully, you had a great week. I had a pretty good day today. We had some highlights and we had some lowlights or low times, or what's the word I'm looking for. We had some highlights and some lowlights. Yeah, makes sense. Some good times, some bad times. The good times were we supported our FSA buddies today. For those who don't know, FSA is Florida Standards Assessment. I think that's what it stands for. I should know that, I guess. But we support the upper grades. They pair us up. We're first graders. They pair us up with an upper grade who are taking these big, stressful, standardized tests, and we support them. We write them letters of encouragement. We give them snacks. We make them a banner. And the students we supported this year were very special to me because a few of them were kindergartners of mine back in the day. Now they're in third grade. But they're also big Harry Potter fans. So we did a bunch of Harry Potter themed things. We made wonderful pens with feathers on them. Harry Potter themed snacks, including we made butterbeer in the classroom today. So they came to us. I brought my Ninja blender in, and we made butterbeer for the kids, and my kids enjoyed it. So that was pretty cool. On the downside of today, it was a very stressful day for a number of reasons. And most of it today has to do with behaviors. I had some behavior problems in my classroom today that were quite the ongoing daily, or an ongoing all-day challenge. So that kind of took up a lot of my energy. I'm going to walk over here in the street to get on my stable footing. The ground is still a little rocky there, a little uneven, so that's better on solid, even ground. But so on the not so good side of today, we had some behavior problems that I had to deal with, and like I said, it was an ongoing throughout the day kind of thing. And I did a lot of reflecting on that as I was driving home today. You think about the good things that happened in the day, and think about the things that didn't go so well. You think about how you could make things better, improve upon them. So we did a lot of that internal thinking as I was driving home today in my car. And it reminded me of a story. And the story is something that's always in the back of my head. I always have this story kind of playing right here in the back of my head, especially when dealing with students, with children. And it can apply to both academic concerns as well as behavior concerns. You know, children come to us and they behave beautifully, but they're just struggling in all areas of academics, reading and math and writing. Or they come to us and they're brilliant. They're great readers and they're great writers and they can calculate, but yet their behaviors are disruptive and distracting, and they just disrupt the entire flow of the entire day, of the entire classroom. So today was one of those days, one of those very disruptive days. And the story popped back in my head. Like I said, it's always kind of an ongoing thing, playing in the back of my head, a little soundtrack, as I look at children, look at students, and think about why they're doing what they're doing and how I can make it better. And I could have done some research, and I guess, and found out for you guys exactly who said this story and where it was said and when, all kind of fun stuff. But I think I do a pretty fair job of paraphrasing on my own, so I'm going to do that right now. And if you know anything else more about this story, feel free to correct any mistakes I make and leave the comments down there below. But here's the story as I was told it by a former principal I used to work with, and it goes something like this. Apparently, there was a CEO of a very famous ice cream company giving a speech to a bunch of teachers. And he said, if I ran my company the way you guys run your school, I'd be out of business. Okay? Pointing out the fact that there are a lot of things that are done incorrectly in the school system, that if this guy made those same mistakes, he'd be out of business. And somebody stood up and kind of said, well, you're missing a very important point. For instance, let's say that you are making blueberry ice cream, and you stand at the shipment dock, and your blueberries roll in the truck. You can have the time to pick and choose which blueberries you want. Okay, as public school teachers, we don't have the choice to pick the students we want. But in the way of blueberries, you can take the ones that'll be perfect in your recipe, take those guys in, ship the rest back where they came from, and order new ones. And you can keep doing this until you have the perfect recipe for the perfect blueberry ice cream. Okay? We don't have that choice. We get our blueberries at the beginning of the school year, and our blueberries come to us from all walks of life. Some of them are treated beautifully since they were born. They're read to every day. They're cared for every day. They're given 3 meals a day every day. They go to the doctor every day. Some, however, come to us abused, neglected, beaten, from shattered families, students who have never opened up a book before. And those are the blueberries that we take in. We try and make miracles out of. Those are the ones that we do the best we can. We try and meet the needs of all of our children. But those are the strugglers. Those are the ones that come to us with behavior concerns, academic concerns. And we don't have the right to just kind of turn them away. And I think me as a person and as a professional, I wouldn't want to just turn those kids away. I'd want them to come into my classroom and give them the best that I've got available. Now there comes a point where you need to reach a limit, where if it becomes so dramatic, so drastically disruptive that you're taking away from the learning of other kids, then other things come into play. But I'm not quite at that point in my classroom. But today was just a constant reminder to kind of take a step back and think about how these behaviors, these concerns that are disrupting my classroom, am I doing what I can, everything I can to meet the needs of these struggling blueberries. So I kind of thought that was a fun story that I was reminding myself of that story as I was driving home, and it kind of made me feel a little bit better. It didn't take away the headache that I came home with, but nonetheless, somewhere in there it should all make sense, I think, I hope. And hopefully you've heard this story perhaps, maybe if not, if you have, if I made any mistakes, leave some comments down there below and let me know what you think about my story, if it's the first time you've heard it, or maybe you've heard another story that's very similar to this, but I thought it was very poignant. Is that a word? That's the appropriate word I can use for this one? It was very telling. That was a very telling reminder of a story that was told a long time ago, and it kind of helped me reflect upon today. So, okay. I'm not hiding my head because I'm afraid of this. My arm is tired. I don't feel like holding it out this far. But thanks for watching and tuning in all of that stuff. Let's go over here, find any additional shapes in trees, shapes in the clouds. Let's see if I can find anything new. I think I see the state of Michigan right there. This one's for you, Deborah. Debbie? Where is it? It was there somewhere. There it is, right above my head. The state of Michigan. Alright, you know what? It's not going to come off too well. But I'm thinking of Michigan, thinking of you, Deborah, if you're watching this right now. So, thanks for watching and tuning in. All that kind of good fun stuff. And I'll see you guys tomorrow. Thanks. Bye. It's a pretty sunset, though, isn't it? Dogs, not so much. But sunset's nice.